Hi everybody, I'm Gareth Doe and you are watching the 4th episode of the TemplePM show. We usually do a tip or a question or a point of view about something along those lines. However, today we're going to do a topic, and that topic is sat to the left of me right now, or to the right if you're watching through the camera. And it's Steve Grimsley, who is the managing director or director of TemplePM. So I'm going to just do a quick Q&A, off the cuff stuff. So Steve,
Yes.
I want the macro and micro of who you are and what you do. So you got 2 seconds to pitch yourself, or 2 minutes, or a minute to pitch yourself. Go.
I'm 5'8.5". I'm 14 and 2 stone. I'm married with 2 kids. Live in a house. I play rugby. I love golf. I'm not very good at it, but I'm getting better. I love the industry that we're working in. I love the team around me. And I'm only 38. No, I lied, 39.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So, that's me.
Okay, what position rugby?
I'm a hooker. That's number 2.
And that's not rude, by the way. That's an actual position for anybody who doesn't know rugby. That's not being rude.
I get to stand next to people like Gareth and another Gareth twin on my left side, and we go head to head with very
big guys. Front row, anybody who knows. Cool.
There is dark arts to it, but we're definitely enjoyable.
So, TemplePM, why? Well, how did you get into recruitment? How did that happen? Because, if you're like me, I didn't choose recruitment. It wasn't always on my forefront, but
I agree.
What happened? Why, career-wise? How did you start recruitment, or what was you doing beforehand?
I was working for a small company, and we were the marketing team for small to medium-sized businesses. And one of my clients was a client called Albemarle. They might still be going. And in that, we had to set up meetings for the director to go and do so. So during my time at that company, that was my favourite thing to do. So when I left, I actually sat there and thought, I actually like recruitment, and went to the street, walked to the street, knocked on one of the recruitment doors and said, actually, I want to be a recruitment consultant. And you've never seen people move so fast to get me into an interview, because recruitment isn't easy. It's certainly not easy. It's one of them roles where it's a sales role, but it's also a personal role. But they got me in really quick, so that's how it happened.
Okay, so you just knocked on the door, somebody opened the door and went, come in here, and
That's
they
it.
gave you a desk within
5
minutes.
Within seconds, because I'm guessing normally within the recruitment world, you don't last long. People don't last long in it because it is such a difficult role. People might think it's easy, but it's not, because you're dealing with people. You can't buy a TV.
No.
Well, if you go and buy a TV and it's broke,
Yep.
you might like the model of the TV, but they'll give you a new one.
Yeah.
So if you like a candidate and you go, yes, I really like it, but the candidate decides to, for whatever reason, doesn't start or decides to stay where it is, you can't just go, here's candidate B, exactly the same as candidate A, but this one works. You can't do it.
So was that part of the attraction when you started it?
I think the
candidates changing all the time, and then you were like, right, I've just put an A player straight into a business, so now I've got to find another A player to go. I did that.
I think the attraction part was for me to recruitment is that you're dealing with people, and it's talking about a subject which it affects the business. It affects their business.
Okay.
Because a recruitment person is affects business. So when I was working at that,
as if from the client's point of view.
Yeah, on the client's point of view. Because when you're talking to, as a business owner now, is that I know that if you haven't got the right people in place, it's very difficult to actually get anything done. But going back then, I just enjoyed the level of intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the professionalism of it, and I really enjoyed the relationship building. And I think that's what you have to do to become a good recruiter. But that was the attraction.
So that was the attraction. So
but the reality,
it
was like that, but with the negativity of, if a candidate leaves a role or doesn't decide to take a role, that's the ball acher. That's the reason why you don't want to do it anymore.
Right.
So
there's more positives than negatives.
More positive than negative.
So there's more positives than negatives. Okay. So you did this high street thing.
Yes.
How long was that for?
2 years.
And then what happened after that?
2 years, I got a Billy Big Board. I thought it was amazing, and I went for this company that was very blue chip.
So not very Showing any gratitude anyway. You in the dog's
Well,
bollocks.
I followed the dog's bollocks, and I went to this new environment, and in this new environment I pretty realised that it was different, completely different to what I was doing before.
So was it high street again? Or was it
No, it went specialist this time. Went specialist.
what was that? What specialist was that?
Well, it was into the IT sector,
Right.
but they did everything backwards. So high street gives you a very good understanding of how things work quickly.
Yes.
You have to get a job in, you've got to find your candidate, you've got to send it out. Well, I went to this company which had a complete different mindset. You don't even talk about sales, you don't. You just literally talk to the candidate. That was fine, but the whole atmosphere internally was, I hated it. Absolutely hated it. Confidence went right down to zero. Left there, and I was in there for a month. Went to another company called Thomas Jeffrey, they're still around, and thought this is too far to go to. Too far.
So just go back to the confidence thing. So what was it that you've gone in from big bollocks and moved in less than a month?
Down to zero.
You've gone to zero. Why?
You had to follow all their procedures. It's going back to the beginning.
So they were
you
very
had to,
process led.
yeah, it's very process led. And what you tend to find is most candidates who come from a large company struggle with that small company experience, and vice versa. You get candidates who go from a small family run business, go into the big organisation, and it doesn't work.
Okay.
So that gave me a good understanding with when I'm dealing with candidates and dealing with clients. You go, yes, that would work. You've got the necessary skill set, but I don't think you enjoy the environment.
Okay. So it was because it was totally different, and they sort of just changed how you did your recruitment, your style.
Completely.
So they changed you.
Made me start to question
Right.
everything that I've done for the last 2 years.
Right. So not in a good way then. So that was
Not in a
that
good way.
then. So you left,
So I left.
and then you went to Thomas Jeffrey. So
Thomas Jeffrey, it took me 45 minutes, and on the way there I was saying to myself, this is far too far. Far too far, I'm not going to like going here.
in terms of travel.
In terms of travel.
Okay.
And got there, had a great interview, and got the job. And as on my way back, I was actually saying to myself, I can listen to radio stations. The journey isn't that far. I can do it.
So you did with pretty much what we deal with. It's too far, but you went anyway, just for the chat.
Yeah.
As we always say, and then all of a sudden you've started instead of focusing on 100% negative because of the journey. You've gone, I like them, I like the company.
All folks.
And then actually
positive.
the journey's not too bad because I can actually do something with that 45-minute drive.
No, definitely. And
Okay.
one of the great things about it is my
You
boss.
didn't have podcasts then?
No, I didn't have podcasts.
Okay.
But one of the great things about that job is that my boss told me in a phone call, it was really before text and so forth. He says, "Let me a phone call. Said, we're really waiting for your grand entrance. Really waiting for your grand entrance." So I thought to myself, confidence was low in this last place. I'm going to set out the store how I want it to be.
Yeah.
So I rocked up to work in a dinner jacket.
Okay. So was that because your new boss sort of saw that confidence level slightly down, but they saw the potential
No, I don't
for
think
the upside of it?
I don't think it
And
was.
they go, right, just to get him
Yeah, no, I
back a
don't.
little bit again, being a rugby lad.
No, I
As
don't.
you know, all rugby lads like dressing up for or
Anything.
dressing down, whatever.
For anything. No, it wasn't. It was me making a conscious decision. If I'm going to go in here with a different attitude, I'm going to come in here with the attitude, the fact that I did have 2 years of being good. I did go in probably with the wrong attitude to think this environment's going to be the same as the last. I can be completely shocked. But this one, I went in and went, right then, I'm here in my dinner jacket. Everybody must have looked at me and thought, what a weirdo. But I thought, right then, go in there, show them that I'm on it. I don't care. I'm going to be slightly different,